Yeah. So we are on live finally, and I would like to ask you to make a introduction to YouTube. Could you?
Yeah, because you already know me. So,
Yeah.
I'm Nath. I'm 33. I live in Fortaleza, Ceará. I work as a secretary. Now I study again to try to become a public servant because I'm tired of capitalism and I want a stable work. And I don't have kids. I just have some dogs. They are like my kids. And I think that's it.
Yeah. So in the next few days, I will start to study as well to be a public servant. I'm tired of,
Good luck.
yeah, I mean, I am an intern and I work in the public area, but technically I'm not a public servant, so, but I see the benefits. I see all of
Yeah,
them. Like if we have a day off, if we have some, I don't know, holiday, it means it's a holiday. You don't need to work. And when you go to the private area, people, they don't care about it. It
yeah.
just doesn't matter. So I'm Victor, by the way. I'm 21. Now I am in Minas. I am from Minas, but I live in Goiânia to study, to work. Um, I don't know. I like languages, Spanish and English. I love Spanish. I like English. Oh, there's a dog. Is it a dog? Yeah.
Yeah, it's my dog.
I miss dogs.
Every
Yeah.
time I start to talk with someone, she wants to be with me.
Yeah, maybe she's jealous.
Yeah.
Um, Today I just finished Mr. and Miss Smith. It's on Prime Video. I don't know if you've been introduced to the TV
I
show.
started to watch, but I think it was so boring. I just watched one episode.
Yeah, for me it was as well, but then I didn't find anything attractive to or anything like good to watch, and then I was just doing it because you know, I want to watch it. Oh, there's one person comment. It's called Eli Santos. But wait, and they just came on time. Eli, how are you doing? Eli, can you hear us? Are you there?
Hello, good night.
Hello, good night. So, how are you doing?
I'm fine, and you?
I'm fine. Thanks for asking. You've been here before? Not really. I don't know you. I'm
No,
not sure.
it's my first time.
Okay, perfect. But do you know TNT? Do you know how the platform works? Or is it
Uh,
your first time at all?
the first time
It's the first time ever, like on
ever.
TNT? Oh my God, I'm so glad you're here. So my name is Victor and this is Nati. I just introduced myself. We are on YouTube right now. And I just want to say to you that I don't know, you're welcome here and just feel free to say, to express, to, I don't know, ask whatever you want. TNT is this safe place in which we can talk languages, we can talk about many subjects, we can, I don't know, discuss. We don't fight. I mean, sometimes it seems that we're fighting when there are some specific subjects that we don't agree, but that's not fighting, that's just not agreeing with each other. And I just sent you the questions of this meeting. In each meeting, we have this, way to guide the whole conversation. So I'm the host here, and that is a talker, just like you are a talk as well, I guess. So, do you have any question, anything you wanna, I don't know, ask before we start the conversation?
No, I
Okay.
introduce myself.
Yeah, I was about to ask you.
Okay, hello guys. My name is Elisa, but my nickname is Eli. I'm 29 years old. Um, I study and live in the city of Ribeirão Preto. We know, you don't know. The later is located in the interior de São Paulo. I study in the USP, University of São Paulo. I study administration at the university. Uh, Before I study economics and medicine, and now administration. In the next college will be law, I think. Yes, I like it study a little.
Okay, yeah,
Um,
congratulations. I wish I
yeah,
could, have studied administration, but I didn't choose it because there's a university. It's not a university, but it's an institute, a federal institute right here. So I'm from
nice.
Minas and I live in a small town. Then if I was going to study administration, I wouldn't move out to another city. And I was excited to go to another place to see more people, to see more, I don't know, opportunities for life. And yeah, but anyways, are you able to see the questions, Ellie, on the chat? Did you receive that?
I see how this language. Uh,
There is 9 questions. Yeah?
yes.
Okay, perfect. So we are going to start with question number one, meet you and Nachi. So it says today's subject it's about language and culture and how they're connected. So the first question says, how does language reflect culture? Is language vital to cultural and national identity? What do you think, Nachi?
I think it's relevant with the identity of the country. It's part of the culture. It's very common you know where the person is because of the accent. So when I uh, went abroad, when I started talking English, everyone knows that I'm from Brazil because they say we have a kind of way to speak and say, even in other language like English, you have a particular way to pronounce the words and express ourselves. So I think it's very cultural a place.
Yeah, yeah. And in my case, like if I say that I'm from Minas, people say, why? And then they relate the food like pão de queijo to my culture, to my language. And then the laziness sometimes, the way to speak. And also, I don't know, they used to say that we are really, I don't know, open to make, I don't know, introductions to just make friends. And we are really I don't know. It's really easy to talk to us because of our language, our culture, and I think they relate it. And when it comes to countries, for example, like here in Brazil, we differ from the Latin America community because we speak Portuguese and most of them speak Spanish. So that is important as well to say that, oh, this is Brazilian culture and this is Latin American culture or I don't know, Argentinian culture, Colombian culture, even though they speak the same language. So I think it reflects a lot of way that people express themselves, but sometimes it can be attached to another things like food, music, personality, and yeah, a lot of things. So what's your opinion, Eli, about the question number one?
Um, I think I have a different opinion. When I think about language, I think about people, connection, words, culture. But I believe that numbers can represent all of these special values. I work trading, financial market, and I believe that numbers can represent all of this.
Yeah, yeah, perfect. But in what ways, like, a number can be representative in situations like the importance of language and national identity? I didn't get it. I'm sorry.
Um, language is are different uh, in the world. I think. Actually,
Yeah.
I don't think it. I'm sure, but math, numbers is equals in all of world. So this is connection. This is culture. This is people. I think.
Oh, yeah, yeah, I get it. Thanks for explaining. So question number two asks, how does the use of language represent the broader notion of national or cultural identity? And I think this question is related to, the border of a country. Like here it's Brazil, we have all the limitations, and if you go to this place, there's a limit. Brazil is not everywhere. So the language we speak in here, it's Portuguese. And then if you go to another country, it's maybe Spanish. So I don't know. I think if it's where is a country and where it is not a country anymore as well. Of course, like some countries who are side by side, they can speak the same language, but then they have different accents, different cultures, and the people may identify another things that we're not able to. So I think by this, we create like if I say to I don't know, Chilean person, I am Brazilian, they instantly will think, oh, they speak Portuguese. I mean, most of them, I think,
I think
I don't
they
know.
will think you speak Spanish.
Yeah, if in some countries like the USA or another ones, people view that Latin America's it's all the same, like, oh, you speak Spanish. And if you go there, we are Latin. Like here in Brazil, we say, oh, I am white, I am black, I am indigenous. And then if you go to there, they're like, you're just Latin, and that's it. It doesn't matter. They don't care like about our differences and the things that make us to be us. What about your opinion, Eli? How do you say this whole situation?
Um, language serves as powerful symbol of national or cultural identify, I think. So vocabulary, expressions, grammar, syntax, idioms, language, policies, historical context. I think all of this um, what can you say are people, are groups, are identifies. I think it is.
Yeah, perfect. So, Nachi?
The question is about the notion of national, but I thought more about inside Brazil because we have a lot of different cultural identity just inside the Brazil. So I'm from Ceará, that is the northeast. We have a culture very strong here, and so in Minas has another. So sometimes the language is different. We all speak Portuguese, but sometimes have some expressions here that probably you don't understand, and you don't understand because it's very cultural from people from Northeast as has some kind of way to speak and some words that is typical from your region. So I thought more about this because Brazil is very big, so it's like we are a lot of countries just in one country. There's a lot of diversity here.
Yeah, yeah. It fits perfectly to our national context. Like it's different. We clearly see the difference. And I think people outside can see as well because they're really the difference are really strong. Like we can perfectly see this, or not. They cannot see this. I don't know. So, question number three, how does it unify people? How might it separate them? What do you think, Ellie?
I think uh, so many factors from to unify factors are communication, cultural identify, share narratives. I think are examples. So unify factors, but factors that separate people are language barriers. I think that pronunciation barriers,
Yeah,
barreiras,
yeah, I'm not
perfect.
sure. I think, yeah, it can be. We get it.
Language barriers, exclusion, uh, and I think it's more common and cultural difference. I think it is.
Yeah, yeah. And I was thinking about social access because it's a way to separate people because let's suppose you're I don't know, foreign or indigenous people living in here. If you
Yeah.
go to the supermarket or to the hospital or to any place, and if you don't speak their language, you can access it because people might not understand it. Or if they could understand you, like trying to, I don't know, express things with hands like, oh, I'm hungry, or I don't know, I want to buy this. But we have to understand to access, we have to also to make, I don't know, justice. Because if you're seeing something and you can't express it out loud, you can tell people, you can, I don't know, go to the police, for an example, and you will be really damaged. So, but a factor of, I don't know, unifying people can be like sharing the same values or, I don't know, having this community support. Because if we speak a language, you can go to, I don't know, you can ask for help, you can study, you can, socialize and be part of something. Because I can say I'm from Minas or I am Brazilian, I speak Portuguese, and somehow it might help me to connect to other people because they are part of a community. So, but if I say, I don't know, I speak a language that don't exist, no one will, be with me by my side. No one will understand me. So I would be alone. I think it's kind of depressing as well. So what's your opinion, Nachi?
I think this depends of the culture of the country because here in Brazil it's easier to unify people because we are friendly, you will like to other people. So if someone comes to here and don't speak Portuguese, we will try to speak in English or do some mimic, but the person will get help from us. But other country is not like this. So I worked with a French guy, and he said in France they don't like when people go there and speak English, for example. If you go to France, you have to speak in French, and it's not a language that everyone learning at school or wants to learn because the general language is English. So I think this about unify or separate people depends of the culture of the country. People that are more open will be unified, but if it's a country that is everyone in your someone like to help, so could be a barrier.
Yeah,
I have
perfect.
something to add.
Yeah,
The language of the finance market, for example, is very difficult. Economists, teachers, so boring and very difficult for thing uh, common, easy, simple. So, for example, explain interest rate curves, market, everything can be explained as I try to talk in accessible way to everyone. So, when I try financial market, I say uh, is a play of two bull and bears, up and side, sell and buy, gain or loss is more simple and is the real market. It's no necessarily so boring and difficult. No.
Yeah, I think it makes sense. So question number 4. Does globalization bring cultures together, force them further apart, or both? Does it lead to more diversity or homogeneity? Homogeny. I don't know how to pronounce this. I think it's homogeny. Um, oh, this is a hard question. I'm not starting. You are starting not to.
Oh,
I don't want.
okay. So I think that's more from bring together because I think you can have access from other cultures even if you don't go to the country. Like now is a fever of dorama, so Korea things is in everywhere. I know in Population now has a restaurant with Korean food, and everyone wants to get married with a Korean guy. I don't know why, because I don't watch doramas, but I think it's a way to know the culture of other countries. So we have a word more diversity, like you can share our culture and know about the culture of other countries without going to the countries. So I think in this part, the globalization help we learn new things about the other countries.
Yeah. What about you, Willie? Do you have a different perspective of this question?
More difficult, but I believe you can do both of things apart and close together. It depends of the time, I think, of the need. I don't know, but I believe you can do both of things.
Yeah. I'm trying to choose a side right here, so I would say that it doesn't help to bring cultures together because if you think like language, the most people who speaks English, they're not native speakers. They have learned it throughout their lives. So, I mean, it happens with English, but it doesn't happen with Portuguese. It doesn't happen with, um, I don't know the name in English, but Afrikaans, for example, it doesn't happen with, I don't know, German or not just European language, but the others in another countries in another oh, I just forgot the word in another regions of the globe. So yeah, it can bring cultures together, but at the same time, some of those cultures they tend to be higher used. They tend to be more incorporated in other countries, like English. People who speak English, they tend to consume like Hollywood content, tend to listen to music in English. So in some ways, they are buying things from mostly United States, which is a really powerful country, and the USA are not buying things for another country, so it just influences the others. So there's a big boss who's the USA, and people are just doing what everyone there does, but instead they do nothing. Like they don't learn things. They don't even know, like, somehow, I don't know. I think people tend to believe that the education there it's a big thing, but at the same time, is that really, I don't know. I think we superestimate too much sometimes countries, and clearly some of them are not really in the same position of power, in the same position of influence, and some of them might be more influenced and more, I don't know, they just can influence the other as well. I don't know if that makes sense for you, and it's hard to explain what I was thinking about this question. But yeah, that's it. So question number five is related to what I said. Does globalization mean Americanization? And I want you to answer as well, like if you consume too much things from the USA, like movies, music, also, I don't know, gossip, which is a popular thing right here, and clothes or I don't know, ideas. How do you guys manage it? Starting by you, Ellie, or Ellie or Ellie, not sure.
Ele.
Okay.
Mm, I think globalization involves the exchange of cultural influence from various countries and regions, not just the United States. But the major impact on global media, entertainment, music, films, I guess food, technology, and other. I, I think everything basically. Uh, United States is present, so other cultures also play important shaping roles, I think. But so no, globalization is not Americanization. Um Therefore, aspects of American culture may prevail today, I think.
Yeah, that was perfect. What about you, Nachi? What do you think about question number five?
I don't think that means that's Americanization, but I think the USA has a great marketing created by Hollywood, so they know how to sell an image of the greatest country and everything is great there and that people want to know more about them. So I won't lie, I consume a lot of things from the United States, like movies, books, and music. I think almost the things that I consume is from the USA. Now I'm in a book club, so I start to read more things from Asia, but because I don't choose the book, they send it as a surprise. But I think they know how to sell the good image, so it's more common that people consume more things from the USA and believe that they are a great country in the world. I don't believe this. I think they have a lot of problems as all the countries, but I think they know how to sell the image.
Yeah, that was perfect. And I was just thinking about me, like I consume a lot of things from there. And I was just thinking, oh, but I do listen to music in Spanish a lot, like all the time. But then a lot of those musics are produced in Miami, which is, or Los Angeles, which is, there. So it might not be, I don't know how to say this decolonial. So is that enough? But I think for me, it means some ways because language is the culture of, technology, of music, or of the industry, cinematographic industry, of, I don't know, medicine, of diplomacy, of, I don't know-how things. And also it's just hard to not say like this sometimes. But at the same time, we do have some important cultures that are really popular. Like, not to say one thing about Korean uh, producers like doramas and things like that. But at the same time, I think it's not fair if we compare them because if we compare all the globalization, I mean, it doesn't mean Americanization as well, but I think it is influenced mostly by this country, which is the USA. And yeah, I think that's it. So, question number six. Oh, this question. So, I think this question, I found it in a website and I just find it interesting at first, but now and I'm not answering it. You are not. Why might writers choose to write in a language that is not their own? What issues are raised by writing in one's non-native tongue? What issues are raised by reading works in translation? Does this question make any sense for you guys? Starting by you, Nati?
I think the reason that they choose to write in other language probably is the money, because English is a language more talked, I think, in a lot of countries. So more people you read the book, so more people buy, it's more money. So for me, it's okay, but I think the problems could be the translation, because sometimes you are think you are writing correctly and you won't. This is very common. If you don't have a good revisor and someone to try to review, could be a problem. I don't.
Yeah, yeah. You said yes, Eli, when I was asking the question, why? So I think you said yes, I'm not sure. You did some movements.
There are three questions, complex. But I think writers, that is correct. Writers
Yes.
may choose to write in a language, in other language that's not their own for various reasons. Maybe access to another audience, artistic expressions, cultural influence, and but I believe the principal reason is market considerations. I think it is. However, when writers writing in a non-native language mm, can raise several challenges. For example, language proficiency, um, identity, and authenticity. I think it is. But when I reading works in a translation, because it's a very common in my university, that may arise include loss of nuance, always, language difference, I think, cultural context. Uh, but I think translations play a vital uh, in making literature today is more accessible to a global audience, I think.
Yeah, yeah, that was perfect. And I think I agree a lot with you, Ali. Starting by the question of the market, I think let's suppose I speak a language that just 10 million people know this language. And if I produce something in this language, just less than 10 million will consume it, less than 10 million will know it. And let's suppose I just made a wonderful discover, or I know that I had a great book, or I know there's something big. I want more people to know this. I want more people to consume this. I want to be recognized. And if you don't do this in a language that people will be able to understand you, you won't, you know, you won't, I don't know, achieve what do you want in your work, in your life, and whatever. And I think it's really hard to write in a different language. I try it a lot of times, not in English, but in Spanish. And even though I was really immersed, I was really, I don't know, consuming all the time, reading books in Spanish, it wasn't natural for me. I think it would never be unless I lived there for years in a country that people speak Spanish. Um, and about translations, in my monography, I had to read things in Spanish and English. In Spanish, I can read like without really getting tired of the time, but in English, I cannot. Like it's impossible not to, oh my God, I can't do this anymore. And then when I go to, I don't know, Google Translator or some software like this, sometimes I just don't understand the translation. I put there and it doesn't make sense, and I just I have to read in English. And it has to be like this because we don't express the same. We don't structure our communication the same. And especially in writing, academical writing, it's complex. So translation, it's not really easy to understand sometimes. So yeah, that was my answer. Now let's go to question number 7. I think it's my favorite. How does language shape your identity? Has learning English changed something in you in terms of identity? Eli, do you want to start?
I think learning English was fundamental for my career, but I knew uh, from other peoples, a lot of peoples, especially United States and Mexico. People are important to my day, to my work, and these connections are important and frequently in my life. So English, yeah, the so important.
Yeah, yeah. What about you, Natty?
Actually, I decided to learn English because of the work. So I don't think this changed something in my identity because I just started to learn because of the money. I knew that if I speak in English, I will get better jobs. So with better jobs, better salary. And I never think about how language shape our identity. I think it's more related with the environment that we are raised. So probably if I was born in another country that's not like Brazil, that everyone is try to, not everyone, but the most of the people try to be friendly and kind and help the other people. Probably I'm not like Dre, I'll be a different person. I don't know, like in Japan, for example, that they have a completely different way to live than Brazil is. So I think it's more related to the country than the language. Because the language is just because the Portuguese come to here. So if you're the person probably come here first, the things will be different.
Yeah, yeah. And I think learning English hasn't changed anything in my identity, but in my life, yes, a lot, like in terms of access things, understand things, work as well. And the place that I work, I need to know English and to write, to do translations and talk to people sometimes eventually. Um, but I'm not sure, like I was thinking about social media and memes. I think it memes or memes in Portuguese. And sometimes it's really hard when you know a famous meme in another language and you can do it with your friends because it's just so I think it's weird when you're talking with a person and say things in English. I hate it. I'm sorry. I know some people do it and sometimes it's involuntary, like girl or I don't know. saying things in English when you're having a conversation in Portuguese. I hate it, but I know it happens.
It is
And
very common on work. My
yeah,
previous company was from a multinational, so everything is the budget and the schedule, and you guys can say orçamento. It's allowed to say this.
yeah, there was a time I was uh hearing a meeting and the girl was saying, yeah, yeah. And I would just, no, please don't do it. I know it happened, I know, but I just don't like it. So, and I think sometimes people cannot understand some things like in comic ways, like memes. If I send a meme to a person that don't know English, this person might not be able to identify the comic sense of the thing. But I don't think it changed something in me. And yeah. So question number 8. What are some stereotypes about your cultural identity? Are they true? And with this question, I want you to say like about your region or the city that you live. Like me, for example, I'm from Minas, and I think people have this sense of, I don't know how to say this, but country guy like Caipira, or maybe a person who eats pão de queijo like 27 at a day, or some people say that we are really simple, like we value little things in life and we like to go to farm. We are just, I don't know, good boys sometimes, but I don't think that happens at all. Like I am from countryside, so here there's a lot of this, like but we don't speak like some people say we do in Minas, like the or we don't speak like this in my city and in my region as well. So I think it's a little bit different. But what about you, Edley? Is there something that people say about your culture, the place that you were born?
I think I don't understand. We talking about stereotypes.
Yeah.
Right. I remember that series. Everyone hates Chris. That I've seen. There is the scene where they talk and say, "You are black, dance break," and now I'm Asian. Do I need to love rice? And so I think it's funny, but it is true. Um, um, I think in my university, common stereotypes or stereotypes common is Asian cultures, né? Some they are clever, love rice, eat sushi, it, all all of them. Afro cultures, so tribal afflictions, runners and athleticism. I don't know all of them. And that's it. And to Latin American stereotypes, I think hot tempered, machismo. I don't know what to say, machismo, and enjoy dancing, party, is nice peoples, cause we we like hug. I hate hugs, but that is stereotypes.
Yeah, and we're dangerous as well. It's a lot of things. But what about your cultural identity, Eli? Like how people in Brazil see your cultural identity, the people that you were born, like the state of yours. Is there anything specific that you believe people see in you because of the place you were born?
I think it is. One time I visited a supermarket in Europe, and they manage play the music for enunciate myself. Music is dança kuduro. I think it's offense a little.
Yeah, yeah. I'm sorry for that. I'm really sorry. I'm laughing, but I'm sorry. So naughty. Can you answer question number 8?
Yeah, but before I answer, let me ask you a question. Do you hate pound cake? Because I'm feeling that you don't like when people talking about pound cake.
No, I love pão de queijo and I'm proud of it. Like in Goiás, I say, oh, this pão de queijo is not good. You have to know mine.
Okay. Eu sei um pão de queijo, ok, he hate pão de queijo, and I think it's a great food, so don't
Yeah,
talk bad
it
from pão de
is.
queijo. So I'm from the Northeast. So here you have a lot of stereotypes, like um, everyone here is very, very extremely poor. I don't know why people think that, or that we don't have water. I don't know. And we are dumb. Every election, people start to talk stupid things about people from the Northeast. I don't know why. I think he's jealous because he has a lot of great deeds. I think that's it.
Yeah, and sometimes people say that North is just a big state and it's not just a region of many states, and it's really complicated. So we have 5 minutes. So because Eli, sorry, is here for the first time, I'm gonna ask her question number 9. Let's suppose you are an immigrant living in a country whose language differs from yours. Would you miss talking in Portuguese? Would you consider stop expressing in your native language forever?
I would miss so much talking in Portuguese, and I never stop expressing in my native language. Never.
Yeah, that was perfect. What about you, Nati? Would you miss?
Yeah, I agree with Kelly. I will miss so much talking Portuguese because here we have a lot of great bad words that don't have in English. We can curse in English as we can in Portuguese. So I think I will try to get in touch with my people here, my friends, my family, to continue to speak in Portuguese because it's strange, but we start to forget about our own language if we will stop to use.
Yeah, perfect. I wouldn't do it as well. I would miss a lot talking in Portuguese. I just think that sometimes it's really, I don't know, curious for me, intriguing that sometimes in English it's really easy to say things that I wouldn't say in Portuguese because I don't feel it. It's just, oh, I'm saying a thing that is really deeper for me in English. And I wouldn't say this in Portuguese because I'm afraid of it, because I don't know, ashamed. I am anxious about it, but it's not the same. I think so. So, I think we can finally end the conversation. But before that, I just sent to you the feedback, the link of the feedback actually, so you girls can answer it and say if you like the conversation. You can also say, mm, I don't know, I want to talk about this picture, so make sure to write something about it. If you have an interesting topic to discuss here, I would be really glad to, know this because I need something to talk and I just don't have it like still in this time. I have some things, but I don't want to talk about this because it's like forming and environment. I don't want to talk about this right now, so I would be really happy if you girls give me suggestion or anything like this. And I just want to know, Eddie, in this final minutes, how was your experience for the first time here in TNT? How was it for you? Do you want to come back to my meetings or not?
I like. I think it's um, a very difficult to me. Um, my level is A2 B1, so I'm really lost sometimes. But I like really.
Okay, congratulations for coming, and I hope to see you again, not just here in my meeting, but in others and YouTube as well. As well as you, Nati. I'm always like super happy that you're here. I love listening to you and knowing the things you want to say, you want to answer. And that was a conversation, girls, and I hope to see you all again. And good night.
Good night, guys. Bye
Bye
bye.
bye.
Guys, nice to meet you.